It's my entry for Richard McCook's 3 years on YouTube competition. Ahoy hoy everybody, and welcome to this video. And as I mentioned, this is a competition entry for Richard McCook, who is running a competition celebrating his 3 years on YouTube. What can I say about Richard McCook that hasn't been said on all the other entries to this video that I've watched? Richard is an 18-year-old female student from Ouagadougou. Nobody said that. It might not be true, but nobody said that. No, Richard is a stalwart of the vinyl community. As is obvious, he's been making videos for 3 years now. He's a great supporter of other people's videos as well. He's a great supporter of my channel, which is very kind. Just a lovely guy. We do have quite a lot of overlap in our tastes. There's big chunks that don't overlap as well, but you know, like me, he's fond of the less cool artists. Plus, you know, the biggies, and he champions people like Haim, who I'm a fan of, Eliza Doolittle. But then, you know, big Bowie fan. But also, you know, big fan of more cheesy 70s music. He's also, and this is where our divergence parts rapidly, big ABBA fan. I've watched most of his ABBA videos, but there's one or two that are pretty much the only videos of his that I've never watched. But yeah, great guy, great channel. I'm sure if you like my music videos, you'll enjoy his. That's what I will say, if you're not already aware of him. Anyway, on to the competition. So there's 3 questions, each involving showing 3 items. And the first one is show 3 artists whom you own a substantial part of their catalogue, and show your favourite and least favourite album by them. So, try to pick a diverse-ish selection. So we'll start with Alicia Keys. And my favourite album of hers is her 3rd studio album, As I Am. Absolutely adore this album. It's got a 60s vibe to the production. There's some, you know, subliminal almost background crackles and stuff like that. You know, it's on the CD as well. It's not just a dodgy vinyl copy. But on top of that, it's got some magnificent songs. Superwoman, No One, Like You'll Never See Me Again, Lesson Learned, Reckless Love, which is possibly my all-time favourite Alicia Keys song, Teenage Love Affair, I Need You, practically all of it actually. It's just a great album, start to finish. And then my least favourite, probably her 2nd album, The Diary of Alicia Keys, although when I got the vinyl copy and re-listened to it, it did go up a bit in my estimation. It's just something about it that's lacking. There's some great tracks on here. Heartburn, If I Was Your Woman, You Don't Know My Name, If I Ain't Got You. But there's quite a few, I'm going to use the word average, tracks on here, for me anyway, that just sort of wash over me. You know, there's certainly some great stuff on here, but of her albums, probably my least favourite. The second act I will choose is Harry Nilsson. So, between 2 or 3 albums which are my favourites. Schmilson is obviously great, but in my heart, I think Aerial Ballet is probably my favourite Nilsson album. It's just something about the feel of his first 2 albums that I absolutely adore. And this one just takes the edge. It's got Everybody's Talking on it. One. Mr. Richland's favourite song is great. Good Old Desk. it's just, as I say, it's just something about the feel of his first two that I really, really enjoy. And my least favourite is A Little Touch of Smilchen in the Night. He sings wonderfully on it, but I don't really need an album of Harry Nilsson singing the American Songbook, which is basically what this is. It's one of the first of his, American Songbook albums, if you think. But, yeah, doesn't do a great deal for me. I'd much rather stick on one of his proper albums. And then the third act I will choose for this are Chas and Dave, because why not? So my favourite Chas and Dave album is Mustn't Grumble. Great album. It's got Ain't No Pleasing You on it, which is just one of the greatest songs ever written. It's also got Rabbit on here. But then tracks like Poor Mr. Woogie, Turn That Noise Down, Beer Belly, Lonnie D, Wallop. Great stuff throughout. And then my least favourite, and I suppose in a way this is a bit of a cheat, but it is one of their albums, so it counts, is Chas and Dave's Christmas Carol album. 21 traditional Christmas carols performed with the Cambridge Heath Band of the Salvation Army. I have it for the collection. I've listened to it once. It's not even an album that I will bring out every Christmas. It's not something I really need to hear Chas and Dave singing Christmas carols. So that's question 1. Question 2 is 3 albums that you would like to have on vinyl but haven't, either because they haven't had a vinyl release or they're ridiculously expensive or hard to come by. You could flip it if you had vinyl that you wanted on CD, but I haven't flipped it. So, 2 of mine have had vinyl releases, but it's money reasons why I don't own them. So first of those is Dire Straits' On the Night live album. This is the only Dire Straits album I don't have on vinyl. It is available. But it goes for silly money. It props up fairly regularly on eBay. I've got a watch on it, a saved search. It usually goes for £90 plus, and that's more than I want to spend on it. It's not a great album. The Encores or EP that was sort of the Encores from this tour had a release for Record Store Day, Black Friday this year, or last year, 2021. So I'm hoping that's a precursor to this getting a vinyl re-release. Next, also available on vinyl, is my favourite album of all time, The Gold Experience by Prince, back when he was going by the symbol. So yes, this is available as a vinyl release and also as a promo vinyl. There's fewer copies of the promo vinyl, but it actually goes for less money than the normal release. But you're talking £500 plus for a vinyl copy nowadays. And it would take a huge windfall for me to stretch to that. The annoying thing is that because there's a legal issue in Italy with The Most Beautiful Girl in the World, which is on this album, this is so far absent from a reissue campaign and is likely to remain so. I've heard that this legal issue has been resolved, but we will see. There's been no sort of big announcement, but a couple of the Prince YouTube channels have said, oh yeah, it's all sorted now. So it would be nice if they could release it as a reissue. I don't care if I don't get an original, as long as I have it on vinyl. But I'm not paying 500 quid. I can't afford to pay 500 quid for one album. And then the third one, I'm 99% certain has never had a vinyl release. There's none mentioned on Discogs. This is Finally Woken by Gem. This is just a magnificent album from start to finish. Unfortunately, she never really matched it with her subsequent release or releases. I've only got one. I think she vanished for a long time, but has come back. But I haven't heard her new material. But anyway, this, yeah, one of my favourite albums. Just a great pop album. But it's quite... It's not, cheesy pop. It's quite intelligent pop. Let's say that. I'd love to have that on vinyl. And my third question is 3 acts who you own some of their catalogue, but if you were to be honest, a greatest hits would suffice. This was tricky because the way I work, I will either, if it's an artist I collect, buy the greatest hits just for the collection, or I buy the greatest hits to start with. If that sort of does me, then that does me. But if there's the tracks I don't know on that, if you like, interest me enough, then I will explore further and buy more of their albums. And if it's at that stage, then I've already decided that their greatest hits won't suffice. So I did find this difficult. However, I've got 3 here, one of whom is going to be very controversial, but I will put a caveat with that one. So first up, looking through the collection, Janet Jackson. So I have picked up quite a few of her albums, mainly charity shop purchases. I haven't paid a lot of money for them. They're okay albums, but on nearly all of them are standouts of the singles, and there's a lot of filler, lots of interludes and segues and things like that, bulking up the running times. But all the good stuff really on those albums are on the greatest hits. So a greatest hits would suffice for Janet Jackson. Cliff Richard. To be fair, this is a comprehensive 3-disc greatest hits. So there's a lot on here from throughout his career. I've picked up a couple of his albums. I've picked up Summer Holiday soundtrack I have on both CD and vinyl because I do love that album. But the stuff I love on it is on here anyway. I did pick up another Finders Keepers soundtrack as well in the charity shop, which is okay. Lots of Shadows tracks on that one, but by no means an essential purchase. I'd pick up, the right price. I'd pick up stuff of his in a charity shop, but I wouldn't want to pay more than £1 for it, if you see what I mean. But really, everything I want is on here, because he has done some really good stuff. A lot of trash as well, but he has done some really good stuff. Right, before I show you this, I have a box set with all this artist's studio albums in. I'll be honest, I've only listened to them once. I'm sure with further listening, I will respect them more. However, on first listening to them all, none of them really grabbed me. My third choice is John Lennon. He's always been of the Beatles, ignoring Ringo, because although I did pick up his Ringo album fairly recently and really enjoyed that, so we'll be picking up more of his studio albums, but not all of them by any means. Bar a few tracks, Ringo's solo career can largely be I'm not going to say ignored, but denigrated compared to the other 3. But of George, Paul and John, John's solo career has always been my least favourite. Doesn't help that I really don't like the song Imagine, which I know many people will find sacrilege, but I find it a bit of a dirge. That said, there's some other of his solo hits that I do really like. But yeah, that's when I went through. I've got the white Lennon box set. Which, if I move at this point, loads of stuff is going to collapse, so I won't grab it. But you know the one I mean. Listen to all the albums. You know, I didn't hate any of them, but none of them were, wow, this is such a great album. But as I say, I have only listened to them once, so I might need to, you know, with subsequent listens, might need to revise my opinion. But at this stage, this is all I really need from John Lennon. Okay. Apologies if any of that upset you. This is just my opinion. As I say, check out Richard's channel if you don't already. I'm sure lots of you already do. Certainly the VC video makers will already, I'm sure, subscribe. For any of my more general fans, if you like. Fans. Any of my more general viewers, if you like, may not have checked out Richard's channel, though I've spoken about him before and entered previous competition by him, or competitions, one or two, I can't remember. But yeah, do check out his channel. I will link to it below. Thank you, Richard, for running the competition. Thank you for 3 years of excellent, enjoyable videos. Here's to many more. Thank you for all the support as well. Thank you all for watching. Like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. Thanks. Bye.